Unusual scenes at China's two sessions. Reporters are selected by drawing lots. Only top officials do not wear masks. Keqiang proclaims a 5% GDP growth rate for 2023, the lowest in nearly 30 years. Despite the economic downturn, the CCP increased defense spending by 7.2%. A strange celestial phenomenon in Anhui has sparked speculation about Xi Jinping's downfall. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Unusual scenes at China's two sessions. Reporters are selected by drawing lots. Only top officials do not wear masks. The National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference commenced at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing on March 4. However, unusual images obtained from the event have been brought to attention. Viewers of the live broadcast on CCTV noticed that all individuals present, except for members of the Presidium seated in the front row and the primary leaders of the Chinese Communist Party in the second row, were wearing masks. This included journalists, security personnel, and support staff, implying that the epidemic prevention measures implemented during the two sessions have not been relaxed. Additionally, it is significant to acknowledge that before the COVID-19 outbreak, the second and third floors of the venue were overflowing with media personnel and camera equipment. This was not the case during this year's two sessions. According to the Tsingtao Daily, journalists are required to draw lots to acquire a two-sessions press pass, allowing them entry into the venue. Upon completion of the event, the pass is promptly collected, and the next event's attendees are decided by drawing lots. According to a report from the Central News Agency, there is a meager number of approved reporters who are permitted to enter the venue. The staff of the two sessions will notify media outlets one day in advance of their permission to conduct interviews. Those who receive notification must complete nucleic acid testing within a specified time frame at designated hotels and follow closed-loop management procedures. The following day, a conference-arranged bus will transport journalists to the venue. NTD-TV reported that these measures have resulted in "Have you received the notification?" and "Every day is as exciting as opening a mystery box," becoming the recent greetings among media personnel in Beijing. Photos captured by journalists at the venue reveal that epidemic prevention personnel dressed in protective suits and masks are conducting nucleic acid tests on the media personnel within the assigned hotel. Despite relaxing epidemic prevention and control measures, the Chinese authorities continue to implement these protocols, causing discomfort among journalists. Those unable to attend the event were compelled to watch the live broadcast on their computer screens. The date for the resumption of the two sessions remains a mystery in China. Keqiang proclaims a 5% GDP growth rate for 2023, the lowest in nearly 30 years. At the National People's Congress of the Chinese Communist Party on the morning of March 5, the outgoing premier of the regime, Keqiang, presented his final government work report for his tenure. In the report, he announced a target for China's economic growth this year, setting the GDP at around 5%, which is the lowest since 1994. As reported by the BBC's Chinese edition, some commentators view the target as relatively conservative given that China's economic growth was only 3% in 2022 and the 2023 target is based on a lower base figure than last year. The conservatism of the target reflects the concerns of CCP decision-makers, who recognize a series of challenges that could hamper the recovery in the short term, despite the lifting of pandemic-related control measures. These challenges include sluggish business and consumer confidence, weak demand for Chinese goods in foreign markets, and limited economic stimulus capacity for local governments grappling with massive debt. According to the Epoch Times, experts suggest that China's economy is plagued by significant issues and the outlook is not optimistic, with the country's system being the most severe concern. Li, a manager of a real estate company in Shanghai, reported that despite the lifting of COVID restrictions, the real estate industry, which serves as the backbone of the Chinese economy, has yet to show signs of improvement. Li said, "There are 6 or 7 real estate agency companies near us, and half of them have gone bankrupt. Some companies are still laying off employees to stay in business. Li stated that the fear of spending among the Chinese populace has resulted in slowed consumption and a downturn in the business of shopping malls and commercial real estate. She said, with insufficient consumption, the commercial sector of the real estate industry will die. Now the shopping malls are empty. While commercial real estate is dying, residential real estate development has reached a point where no one wants to buy a house now. Real estate in third and fourth tier cities is a disaster. Do you think the economy can still be good? Additionally, the manufacturing and export industries, which are concentrated in China's wealthier coastal regions, are also experiencing difficulties. According to Sun Lijian, a professor at the School of Economics of Fudan University in Shanghai, due to recent instability in politics and the economy, several small and medium-sized Chinese companies have chosen to relocate to Southeast Asia to establish factories and modify their business models. On February 3, the Epoch Times reported that Frank Xia, a professor at the Aiken School of Business at the University of South Carolina, criticized the Chinese Communist Party's fabrication of China's rapid economic growth, which has misled both the Chinese populace and the international community. Xia accused the CCP of disregarding the welfare and livelihoods of the Chinese people and stated that the country's economic situation is in dire straits. Xia further stated that some of the CCP's State Council experts, as well as professionals with overseas and international experience, will be replaced by individuals loyal to CCP leader Xi Jinping. This change, according to Xia, will lead to the new economic team, headed by the incoming Prime Minister Li Qiang, being unable to effectively stimulate the economy due to their lack of understanding of macroeconomics. According to Voice of America's Chinese edition, Wen Guanzhong, a retired professor of Trinity College and an economist, stated that the main problem in China now is a systemic problem because Xi Jinping wants to follow the party-state system and use the party instead of the market to decisively allocate resources. Despite the economic downturn, the CCP increased defense spending by 7.2%. The Chinese government has announced its intention to bolster its military budget despite the country's economic slump. The planned increase of 7.2% this year will raise military expenditures to nearly 1,554 billion yuan, equating to approximately $224 billion. This represents the second highest surge in military spending in the past 5 years. It is worth noting that this increase in military spending far exceeds the Chinese Communist Party's proclaimed GDP growth rate of 5%. Notably, China now boasts the world's largest standing army and navy, bolstered by its recent deployment of a third aircraft carrier, an extensive arsenal of missiles, bombers capable of carrying nuclear weapons, stealth aircraft, advanced surface ships, and nuclear-powered submarines. As tensions in the Taiwan Strait continue to intensify, China's significant increase in military spending has aroused apprehensions among neighboring countries and the United States concerning the CCP's strategic objectives and military advancement. However, former Chinese Navy Lieutenant Colonel Yao Qing told the Epoch Times on March 5 that official figures of military spending might not present an accurate picture of the CCP's overall military expenditure. Yao said, China's military expenditure is divided into two parts: normal defense spending and the money that is mainly used for the development of weapons and equipment, which is not included in the national defense budget and will not be put out there to be approved by the National People's Congress. The CCP has a hidden budget for the development of military equipment, which is separate from the defense budget, and this part is actually larger than the announced defense budget. So when it comes to national defense and military spending, you can't believe the CCP's figure, which is calculated differently from Western countries. Mr. Wang, a mainland China observer who declined to reveal his full name due to safety reasons, further alleged that the Chinese regime's goal is to export disasters to the rest of the world. He said, there is no distinction between right and wrong for them, such as giving economic support to Russia and supporting Russia to invade other countries. I estimate that a large part of China's financial resources has been spent supporting Russia's war. According to Su Tsuyun, the director of Taiwan's Institute for National Defense and Security Research, the CCP's exponential increase in military spending corresponds to its expansionary national strategy, which poses a true threat to global security. The mounting pressure on the Taiwan Strait is only one element of the Chinese Communist Party's wider strategic objectives. An alleged celestial event in Anhui has sparked speculation about Xi Jinping's downfall. At the two sessions of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP leader Xi Jinping intends to implement major institutional reforms to safeguard the regime's security. However, some analysts believe that Xi's strategy could backfire. At this critical juncture, reports have emerged from various areas of Buzhou City, Anhui Province, of a loud noise heard on the morning of March 3, the day before the session. According to a resident of Keqiang district in Buzhou City, who spoke under the pseudonym Mr. Chen, he was awoken from his sleep around 2 a.m. on March 3 by several loud noises. Initially mistaking the sounds for thunder, Mr. Chen soon realized that they could have been caused by a sonic boom from an aircraft. "When I woke up in the morning, many people around me said they heard the loud noise too," he said. Videos posted online by residents depict the moment of the loud noise on March 3 at 2:23 a.m., shaking a homeowner's surveillance camera recording. Another piece of footage showed a startled dog running out of a store after the loud noise. On the morning of the same day, officials from Buzhou City's Emergency Management Bureau declared that they detected no seismic activity and that the disturbance was not weather-related. Nevertheless, more investigation is required to verify whether the sound was a sonic boom resulting from an aircraft. Adding to the intrigue, on February 14, a Chinese citizen reported similar disturbances in several cities in Henan Province, including Zhoukou, Luoyang, and Xuchang, sparking concerns that it could be a sign of an impending disaster. This individual speculated that the noise could be related to the Tianguming, a phenomenon that translates to heavenly drums thundering. According to the Sound of Hope, ancient texts refer to Tianguming as thunder without clouds, an omen of military conflicts, global unrest, and the downfall of a dynasty. One historical event in China that served as a sign of the impending change in dynasty was when Chongzhen, the last emperor of the Ming dynasty, ascended to the throne. Everyone present were scared when a loud noise suddenly erupted from the mostly serene temple of heaven. Throughout the last years of Chongzhen's reign, numerous accounts of Tianguming incidents emerged from various parts of the nation. Along with the celestial warnings, the Chinese Communist Party's 20th Central Committee's second plenary session announcement recognized that the regime faced a grave crisis. The announcement warned of the need to prepare for major tests of high winds and waves, even shocking and terrifying waves, and cautioned that various unexpected factors could occur at any time. Some experts now believe that the current domestic and international environment is increasingly unfavorable for the Chinese Communist Party, with potential undercurrents even within the party itself. In response to the mounting challenges, Xi Jinping has announced a sweeping institutional overhaul. Nevertheless, senior journalist Keqiang contends that while Xi appears to be consolidating power, he is actually making a bad move. Xi stated that such reforms often result in the dismissal of officials, a factor that historically leads to the collapse of authoritarian regimes. Such regimes usually crumble due to opposition from elites and the powerful classes. Besides that, a central government must decentralize its power to save the nation's economy. However, Xi Jinping is heading in the opposite direction. The situation is akin to a cancer patient deciding whether to undergo major surgery, which largely depends on the patient's health condition. For those who are frail, such an operation could be deadly. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.